or something. Hey, what's going on, fight fans? This is Sean with Boxing and Basketball, here with our co-host Alejandro. What's going on,
Hey guys, how you
Nomad?
guys doing? Just chilling, man. Just relaxing.
Check it.
Excited to talk to Mercito and get this interview going.
All right, let me send a message for everybody to drop their comments down below while we wait on Gesta. Man, so give me some of your early when you first found out about Gesta, especially being a Filipino boxer. You know, everybody at one time was hype about Manny Pacquiao, blah blah blah. All right, there he is. Hold on, let
There
me
he
bring him
is.
on. What's going on, Mercito? How you doing?
Hey, we're doing good. How are you guys?
Good.
Oh
How
man,
you doing?
Doing good. Great.
all
Uh,
right, man. I'm glad you're able to join us
yeah.
tonight. Alejandro was like, man, so we gotta get Mercito on. I said, okay. I said, let's do it. I said,
Oh,
we'll
thanks for
reach out,
having me.
man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Mercito trains in San Diego, and I live here too. So,
Oh, you're in San Diego
uh,
right now.
yeah, I live in San Diego.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
so
Oh
and I,
well,
and I know you
Alejandro,
train.
Alejandro, we
Go
gotta
ahead.
get you. You gotta go to the gym then. Is it an open gym? Can people come and film and stuff? Mercito?
Oh, what was that?
I said, is it an open gym? Can Alejandro come there and film and do interviews and stuff there too
Um,
as well, or no?
you know what? I train right now. In LA actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I go there for sparring. Actually, yesterday I just spar over there. So pretty much I'll be starting my camp. So I will go there in LA. Yeah.
No, okay.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm sure. Besides you, I'm sure y'all got some up and coming fighters and stuff. Alejandro can come interview and check out some of the amateurs, some of the up and coming guys. People are training, right?
Yeah, sure. When the schedule's getting closer, if upcoming fight, for sure.
Perfect, perfect. All right, so Alejandro, man, I'm gonna let you take the lead. Oh, look like he froze up there for a
Those
second.
up.
Yeah. All right. Well, while waiting on him, uh,
Sounds good.
today. Okay, there you go. You froze up there for a second. Can you hear us?
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. Are you guys good?
Yeah. You have froze up on us, so we're waiting on you.
Oh, I don't know. So, all right, let's go. Mercito, so tell me a little bit about your story. Like, I know you were born in the Philippines. Tell me a little bit about your childhood and growing up in the Philippines.
Yes. Yeah, I was born, raised in the Philippines. Growing up, my dad loves combat sport. He was suppose he was an amateur when he was a kid, but his parents didn't let him turn pro because they don't want him to go in the boxing world. So when I was born, my dad promised himself, my son, I won't restrict him from doing boxing. I will teach him whatever I learn. Since because he didn't go to a professional, he went to a kickboxing when he's a little older. He went to Muay Thai. So I learned the martial art first. I learned kickboxing, Muay Thai in the Philippines, and you know, pretty much I start when I was seven. My first ring fight was at 7 years old. So
All
I've
right.
been already in the sport, but of course with my same age group. And when I hit 15, decided to turn to boxing. Went to boxing. It's more like it's better for me, future wise, and it makes more money. So I did boxing, and from there, uh, I just went straight to pro. I didn't have any amateur fights, and the coach sees
Mhm.
that you've been sparring with professional, you did good. So I went straight to professional, and from there, here I am.
Oh, okay. So then, because of your dad, that's how you started getting into combat sports and all that. Um, did you watch boxing as when you were growing up?
I do watch too. Back then, I saw before Mike Tyson's. Uh, I saw Mike Tyson in Holyfield when I was a kid. I still saw that one. Uh, those are the big names before, and then before I turned pro, I already saw Pacquiao. Before I went to boxing, actually, and pretty much Pacquiao is a big name in the Philippines since he's the first one that pretty much opened and made it all the way to the top, and so it makes me feel like, oh, that's a good sport. But in the end, I did the sport not because of that. It's just because my dad loves it, and I feel like I want my dad to be proud, and I want to be in the sport. And I love also the kickboxing Muay Thai, but then realistically for my future, boxing where's the money is. So that's the reason why I moved to boxing.
And when you were growing up, did you have a favorite fighter?
Growing up, let's see. I've seen some boxers, some fighters. Reality is the truth because my dad is a fighter, kickboxing and Muay Thai. He's actually my favorite fighter, and that's the reason why I'm in the sport. I want him to be proud of me, showing that, okay, pa, look what I can do. So he's actually my favorite fighter. I saw some of his fights in Muay Thai. Uh, when you say about boxing, there's some couple, but towards when I'm already in my pros and I'm already like 8 rounds. And one of the fighters that I like is Sugar Ray Leonard, quick, fast hand. Of course, who doesn't like Mike Tyson? Almost everyone loves Mike Tyson.
Right.
His prime. So there's a lot. But the way I am is I like to choose and pick which style works, which style is good, and not a lot of them. That's the only one that I like. There's a lot of them that can work, and I can grab into that style. So yeah.
Mercito, I got a quick question because you're still so young. Like, at what age did you turn pro? Because you had like your first pro fight in like 2003, right?
Yeah. I was 15. I was 15.
Wow.
Yeah. I was 15 years old when I turned pro, and I didn't expect it. For me, of course, I want to go pro, and I thought I'm gonna fight for amateur first, but the coach says, "Hey, you've been sparring with a professional, and plus, I went to this gym with only professionals. There's no amateurs, so I'm like, yeah, why not? It's more money." So I went straight to pro. Yeah, in 15.
That is so crazy because you're only like 34, right?
Yes.
And at 34 years old, you almost have 20 years of boxing. That's just pro boxing, not including like, amateur, like almost 20 years in the game. It's just at 34, man, that's just so unheard of. I think you and maybe Canelo. I think Canelo started at 15.
I think so. But the good thing about me is I don't have. I mean, I have 30. What total? 32. I think there's 7 total. The good thing about me is I don't have that much war. I don't have like fights in 1 year. When I was in the beginning of my career, I keep fighting like probably 4 times a year. But towards my late year, like my body's not like overused. I have a good rest, and I don't have any damage. I know I do have a surgery on my shoulder, but that's pretty much it. But in like say injury or whatever, like I'm good. So I feel fresh, and when I train during my because of my experience, I learned how to train smart, not just hard. Because a lot of fighters right now, they just train hard, but are you using your brain to how to train? Are you using how you need to listen to your body, how you train. So you need to train smart to last long time.
Right. Listen, let me ask you something. Did you ever feel the pressure? Did you ever feel the pressure of having, like, of course, everybody knows Manny Pacquiao, and he's Filipino. Like, hey, and then you got Nonito the Flash Donaire, Filipino, right? And then, every time I'm watching TV, Mercito's the next Filipino. Did you feel that pressure build up? And was that a lot to take on?
From the beginning, I felt a little bit of pressure, but in the end, I always put in my brain, I always put in my mind that I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them, and I know I appreciate what the people will say. Some of the people are saying, but in the end, I'm doing this. I'm not doing this because of the expectation of other people. So I need to keep that myself. And that's how I overcome those pressures. So I just need to be me.
All right, we got something from Chad Perez that's in the chat. You see it pop up. Loved your fight against Linares. Can you tell us a little bit about that fight?
Oh yes, yes. Respect to Linares, and that was a good fight. And I fought a great champion. Uh, I got some good punches. He got some good. I connect some good punches for him, and he got me too. Some good straight punch, especially with his straight punch. That's his like knockout punch, but
Right.
I took it. I took it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm okay. And if I could do it again, I could do a little bit of change, maybe a little pressure. But overall, I'm happy with my performance, and thank you, Chad, for seeing that was an exciting fight, and I feel great on that fight too.
So Mercito, so at 15 when you turned pro, how was it in the Philippines different than fighting here in the United States? What's the big difference?
Oh, let's see. First of all, the money. that the money in the Philippines. I mean, you can make money, but it's so different here. Uh, you know what? I feel like when I was in the Philippines, you can when you train, you feel it more to your heart because how the life in there. I think that's a different over here because over here it's pretty much you can get almost everything you want. Whatever whoever eats, you can eat it. So I just need to keep in mind where I came from, where I start. So I still have the
Yeah.
hunger. I never lose or forget the root where I came from, and I think that's different.
So then when you started fighting in the Philippines, then you went to Mexico to fight and then to the state. Do you remember any of the fights when you were fighting in Mexico?
Mm, you know what? I I've never fought in Mexico, but towards I think it was just Arizona, Arizona, not in Mexico yet. I haven't fought in Mexico. Arizona
Because
and what was that like? Yeah, it's, Arizona. Yeah, I haven't fought. I
it was
fought.
nice.
Yeah, so just Arizona. I haven't fought in Mexico yet.
Okay.
Uh,
So it's been a little bit over like 2 years that you haven't fought. The last fight ended up in the fight was a draw because of a cut. Um, so what's I know COVID happened and everything, and you look like you're in great shape, and you've been training. I've been seeing your Instagram posts. I've seen that you train at the Wild Card. So what's up? What's going on with you right now?
right now, things happen sometimes. With my last fight, after the cut, the draw, actually, I scheduled a fight in Indio, and I just got a food poisoning for unfortunately, and we need to withdraw the fight. It's too. I mean, I can't do anything. So after that, I just continue training, and there's some couple of supposed to to have a promotional fight, but you know. Sometimes it don't happen, but I do understand there's a lot of factors why there's some COVID, but that don't let me down. I'm still here, I'm still training, That's the big thing in the sport. You mentally, you don't let it put you down. Once your mental gives up, gives out, and that's it. Like, because you're just gonna be like, oh, there's no more for me. So you need to stay positive. You gotta be there. Think positive stuff. You're healthy. You have your
Right.
family. Do whatever you want. I mean, do what you love. You want.
Right.
Which is this boxing. I love what I do.
And Mercito,
Gotcha.
you got another question here. You already answered, what's next for you in your career. You're training right now, getting ready. And who is currently your promotional company?
I'm still with Golden Boy promotion, but working close with them. Uh, there are plans, but I don't want to give hope, and I just keep doing my workout, and hopefully the plans will work out. Uh, I'm s- I will stay in shape like I've been doing right now. I was just sparring the other day in wild card, so there's some plans. We're just working on it slowly but surely. I know there is.
Right. Mercito, let me ask you this. At 15, that's such a young age, right? When you listen to music artists, especially music artists that want to get on so bad, and then when they get on after they done gone through, I don't know, 3 or 4 record companies, drop 4 or 5 albums, and as they get older, more mature, more seasoned, they start to learn the business side of boxing. Learning how to own my publishing, my masters, making myself a brand. Eventually one day I could do my own thing. From a 15-year-old kid to now, what are some of the things you learned as far as the business of boxing itself? Like what would you tell at 34? What would you tell your 15-year-old self? What advice would you give yourself about the business of boxing?
Hmm.
Like at 15, did you even have like lawyers to review contracts or anything at that age?
You know what? That's a good point. Yes, that's right. That's right. That's a good point. That's actually one of the things when you're young, when you don't know
Yeah.
anything yet. I
Right.
would say get a professional
Okay.
because I've there's a
And
lot of
it just can't be any type of lawyer, right? Is there like sports lawyers or
yes, there's a sports lawyer that specializes in sports and they know the clause and things in agreements. I would say get a professional lawyer that knows in sport because I remember when I was in Philippines, I have experience.
right?
As a young age, I was doing I was doing good potential, and that's the reason why I got here at a young age. And lots of managers try to trick
Sure.
me, trying to put
Sure.
all those clause and stuff.
Right.
And I don't know what to do. Like I don't have anyone. And I would say get a professional, get a lawyer or something. If it comes to uh, contract, it will save you. I remember I stopped for like a year because of that in the Philippines, and
Right.
lucky that someone helped me and
Right.
got me back on my feet, and I'm back. So yeah, that's a good point. That I would
Right.
choose that. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. And I only asked that question because I remember, just watching Manny Pacquiao's career, from different contracts, had to get sued
yes,
and break contracts. Bob Aaron was like, you got this and that. So, at one point, there was a little joke going around with Manny saying, man, Manny Pacquiao hasn't met a contract he didn't like. But I think as he got older and more wise and the right people, Manny started to realize, like, hey, wait a minute, man, let me get my own lawyer. Because, and I've seen even in the music business, you'll get somebody, they'll sign your lawyer. Like, no, I don't want your lawyer because y'all might be working together. I need my own lawyer.
yeah, that's right. That's great. Yeah, it's funny when you say that about Manny because before he was even in the top rank promotion, uh,
Mhm.
he lost a lot of money against. He has this manager, I think Rob. I forgot what was it, but
Yeah.
it was crazy. So
Yes.
yeah, that's he needs. I mean, I don't know how he got out from it, but yeah, exactly like that.
Right. And let me throw this in here, Alejandro, and I'll let you ask your next question.
Yeah, go
They
ahead.
said we would love to see you against Pitbull Cruz. I like that you throw in between. Wait a minute. I like that you throw in between your opponent's combos. What do you think about those comments?
Oh yeah, I would love to. I would love to. As a fighter, every time there's upcoming fighter, good fighter, it excites us. Um, I think as I read, I think that will be yes, that will be exciting. It excites me, and I would love that. And as a fighter, I always want to fight the best.
Yeah.
So Mercito, there was I know Ryan Garcia has a fight, but there was a rumor that you were a potential opponent to fight Garcia's him basically his comeback. Did anybody ever reached out to you or anything about this fight?
Yes, someone reached out to me about that possibly to happen, and I just need to be prepared because things could happen, like what happened right now. You know, they don't want to fight, or that's the decision, and respect that. And time will come. Time will come. Once I have the position, then people will come and trying to get and fight me.
You know what, hey, Alejandro, I'm glad you asked that because Mercito, I want to ask you this, and even some of our other guests that we have on. Ryan Garcia is still so new and fresh to the sport of boxing, right? But because Ryan is so young, Ryan he's coming up during the TikTok, Snapchats, Instagram, social media, era, right? And now I'm not a big fan of celebrity boxing, but I'm looking at what Jake Paul, Logan Paul, YouTubers and TikTokers coming in, and like they're drawing like hundreds of thousands and millions of people, right? But it's not that they're great fighters that why they're coming, because they know how to use social media and they branded themselves. So my question to you is, do you think that's something that boxers are missing? Like I'm just now seeing a couple fighters like Regis Prograis or the Charlos, Adrian Broner at one time. They were doing like weekly YouTubes and getting people involved in their life and something besides boxing. Do you think that's something that boxers are missing as far as branding themselves? Because we've talked to a few fighters and it's like to them, they're like, well, that's a promotions company. That's their job to promote and this and that. I'm like, yeah, for a fight, but what happens when you're not fighting 6 months, 9 months? People are going on to the next person that's hot and popping right now. So do you think y'all have a responsibility as far as like at least in your time right now for social media to do something more to give people more of your personal experience in life and what you do?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It brands the fighters, and that's a little extra income on the side if you haven't fought for a while as well. And also, let's not forget about some other personalities. Some other personalities has just want to show themselves in the ring instead of doing this. Well, it doesn't mean that I'm against with the social media. That's a new thing right now. We're evolving. So I would say that's a great idea. And if a person doesn't want that, it's up to the person as well. Yeah, but it could help.
Right.
Yeah.
And Alejandro, and I only say that, and Alejandro, I don't think I told you this, and Mercito, the only reason I brought that up, because you've heard of the comedian Kevin Hart.
Yes.
Kevin Hart was talking about how he was able to make so much money touring, and he charged 2 fees. And I'm like, well, what fees did you charge? And he said, I made a lot of money because I booked out arenas, but I also made the promoters charge me because I promoted using my own Instagram, my own YouTube, my own, whatever social media. So instead of them, he got them to write them a check to pay out to his people. So that's just something I want to throw out there. I thought that was amazing. I'm like, wow, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, that's a good thinking. So
yeah,
I mean, that works, and that's better. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Alejandro. I'm sorry.
Well, you got to always promote yourself. You have to be your own brand, and then just being out there, even if it's just quick clips on Instagram or stories, it's good. So people could continue to remember, like, be able to say, "Oh, yeah, I know Mercito. He's I see him training," and that's how I seen you, because I seen all the Adidas workouts that you've been doing with the commercials and you working out in
Yeah, I
Wild
like that.
Card, and
Yeah.
so that's awesome that you're doing that on the side when you're not in the ring. So you did mention sparring at the Wild Card. How's that going? Are you training with someone that's getting ready for a fight, or what's going on over there?
Yeah. Actually, Postal has a upcoming fight. I'm not sure when.
Hmm.
Victor Postal, and so
Yeah.
I was helping him for sparring. It's actually my first sparring of this year. I mean, I've been working out with my dad, spar like light spar, but in real sparring, that was
Mhm.
a first sparring, and it was great. It was good. I miss working out with a high caliber fighter, and it was good sparring, and it will continue more. I'm not sure when is his next fight, and love to work more with him and spar, since he's a one of caliber fighter that
Mhm.
I would love to spar. It was great.
Okay. And so are you now just staying in LA, or are you still in San Diego, or just during sparring
Um,
you're up there?
you know what? Last year, we actually, my wife and I, moved in Orange County,
Mm.
because uh, you know, in my boxing, I can adjust pretty much where I work out, but her office can closer here in Irvine. So I was like, yeah, I can do it. And then if when I do my camp, which is right now, I'm going to LA. It's not as far
Mm.
versus traveling from San Diego to LA. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost last March when
Oh,
I
gotcha.
yeah
So it's
yeah
recent.
yeah, it's almost a year. Yeah, it's recent. Yeah,
Okay.
but
And we got
Yeah,
to
because that traffic gets crazy sometimes going to LA
yes,
from San
yes,
Diego.
it gets traffic. Yeah.
yeah.
What were you gonna say, Sean?
I would say we had a couple more questions. So one is, with so many belts out there, what belt do you see as the most prestigious?
I love the WBC. I mean, all the flags in there. I just love it's just the green belt. So I just love it. But I'm happy to have any world title belt. But but the way I look at
Something
the
about that WBC.
yeah, there's something about that WBC. I mean, most of the fighter likes that too. I just the look of it. But like I said, if it's a title fight, I will whatever bill it is, I will take it.
Right. And the next question they had here was, are there differences in the sanctioning fees per sanctioning body?
What does it mean? Uh, what
So
would
I
that?
guess
So this.
I guess like if you were fighting for the WBC, you know how you had to pay for these sanctioning fees to fight for that belt.
Mm.
Is the WBO a different price? Is the IBF a different price? Or
I
or the NABO, are they different prices or
I think so. I haven't got any of those built yet, but I will find it soon.
right?
Yeah, so
Okay.
probably.
So Marcito, if you could pick any fight right now that could happen, say in the next 3 months, and you could pick anybody, who would you want to go after?
It's a long shot, but I like to fight Camboso.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he is looking for
Man,
an opponent.
yeah, man, he's a hot ticket right now. Everybody's gunning for him, man.
I want to fight for the title belt. So
Yeah.
So, what did you think about that fight when Teofimo and Cambosa went at it?
oh,
Whoa, what were your reactions to it?
that was a war. That was a war. That was a great fight. You know, Camboso just being patient and you know do his follow his techniques and being patient and not falling into Teofimo's pressure. He's being smart. So, but then in Teofimo too, he was doing good too. But at the end of the day, Camboso, won the fight, and it's great for him, and I'm happy for him.
Do you actually know or friends or actually know Mark Maxaya?
What was it? Mark Marsaio about what?
Yeah, like are y'all friends? Do y'all
Oh yes. Mark Marsaio, yes. Yeah, we're friends.
and what you think and what you think about his fight against Gary Russell?
That was a good fight. It was a good fight. I would say first couple of rounds, Magsayo, I would say like first round, second round, third, before Russell hurt his.
Yeah, I think that was the fifth round. I think he hurt his
Yeah,
shoulder. I think
before that, Magsayo actually doing good. The counter, and then but then as a champion, Russell
yeah,
lost his right arm just throwing his straight
right.
left. He adjusted. He actually kind of
Yeah,
controlled the pace.
he
So
did.
I was like, oh wow! I was like, I'm surprised with just one hand, and
Right.
he's actually better than he has both hands.
Listen, hey Alejandro, didn't I say that when we were talking before to who was that we're interviewing? Jamel Herring. I said Jamel. I said he did better with one arm for the last 6 rounds than when it was amazing. And I was yelling so much at Freddie Roach. I'm like, Freddie, what are you telling Mark in the corner? Like, there's no way that I'm gonna let a one-handed fighter just pot shot me for 6 rounds. I just can't. I just can't allow that to happen. What did you think? Like, he was literally just pot shotting him. Mercito, when you have a guy like that, I mean, are they still dangerous with that one hand?
You can still, you need still to be, be careful with that, but it's supposed to be your more advantage. I guess, the way it is, the way I think, Gary Russell is a champion. He knows how to adopt and change. So right when he loses right arm, he controlled the distance, and it's hard. It's hard to get in, because when he has both hands, he's still kind of like moving right here. So Magsayo can counter him when he throws both hands. So when he's not throwing that much, Magsayo is waiting. He can't. He's kind of like confused of what hand. Like, I know it's just left hand, but if I'm gonna connect, he's already out. So it's hard. And as a champion with him, he's good at distance, quick, and timing. And of course, Maxai still win. He's more
Active.
Active. But I was surprised. I was like, damn, with one hand, like, he's doing better. And I would say, if he has both hands and fight the same, like the first round, it could probably be different. Probably Magsayo will do better, but because he's not letting Magsayo get in and he's already out, he controls the fight, and that was just wow. That was crazy. I mean, still Magsayo win the fight, but just knowing one hand and still made it to the end and control the fight.
Right.
And at this point in time, who's your favorite fighter to watch? Like, who's one of your that you like to see fight in the ring?
And who do I like to watch as a guy that's fighting? I mean, number one right now is Canelo. So still, Canelo is good. I like the way when he's bob and weave, moving around. I like him watching. And also, I gotta admit, what's his name? Lomachenko. I know he's my weight division.
Right.
I would say, I'm just gonna be honest. He's a hard fighter. Like, without the fighters, I will say, like, I'll train my heart. I can hang with him. But Lomachenko is hard to fight, and I would say if him and what's the guy that beat him?
Yeah.
Who
That beat
was
Lomachenko?
Yeah, the beat Lomachenko. What's his name?
Teofimo Lopez?
Yeah. If they have a rematch,
Yeah.
Lomachenko will win.
Right.
I would say. So them, Lomachenko, and Canelo, and I don't know if Canelo and Triple G will happen again, but that'll be a great
Right.
fight because both of them are like kind of like clubs.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
fight again to watch.
Hey, all right, Mercito, what about the fight that, besides Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, man, the most talked about fight the last 2 years has been Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Who do you think could win that fight?
Ooh, you know what? Before Errol Spence accident,
Yeah.
I would say
And he's recovering. He just recovering from the eye injury, the detached retina.
oh yes, that's right. I think in his before those accident, I would say he will win against Crawford because even if they're equal with style and
Yeah.
equal with points, uh, what's his name? I forgot. Not Terrence Crawford. I keep forgetting.
You talking about Spence?
Spence, yes, Spence
Yeah.
is just strong
Right.
guys, and very. He can take punch. Although Terrence Crawford can take two, but natural heavy with weight is Spinks. So, but now I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to say Spinks and Crawford because of that accident, and he's just recovering for the retina. So it's hard to say.
Mercito, tell me what you think about this. When I look at Spence and I look at Crawford, Spence, I mean, we as fans, you can just look at some fighters and get an idea of what they have inside of them, right?
Mhm.
For the most part, right? When I look at Spence, I look at a guy that is very skilled, very talented, and like you said, has some pop to his punch, and he's southpaw, right?
Mhm.
But Terrence Crawford puts me in mind of Andre Ward. Not only is he skilled and talented, but they have that dog inside of them, if that makes sense. Like, you
Yes.
can be a skilled fighter, but you have that dog that, even if you might have the same skill, maybe a little bit better, the dog inside me is just too much for you to handle.
Yes. Yes. I know what you're talking about.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? Okay, yeah. Because Andre Ward, I mean, just an exceptional fighter, man. And it wasn't just his skill, but he just had that dog inside him. No matter how big, how tough you are, he's like, I'm gonna get right in your chest, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. I mean, those are the things that you can't teach in boxing.
Right.
Those are the things you can be skillful, but with the heart, you can't teach that in boxing. So you got to have it naturally.
Yeah. And when I knew he had it, I knew he was tough, but when I knew he had it is when he was about to fight, I think it was Jose Ramirez. And
Mm.
they're at the face off after the weigh-in, and they were just jawing, and like Terrence legitimately threw a left hook, like, I'm really gonna try to knock you out. I don't care about we about to fight, in
Um,
24 hours. Like,
I think you were. I'm not sure if you were talking about
This is the Benavides.
Davides.
oh,
Yeah.
Benavides. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jose Benavides. Yeah,
Yeah.
not Ramirez. Jose
Yeah.
Benavides. Like, when he threw that left hook, I'm like, oh no, he's serious. This isn't for a show and TV. Like, he really didn't care whether they didn't fight the next day, if they would have got suspended or they stopped the fight. Like, when I saw that, I said, this dude really got hood and dog in him, man.
Yeah. I mean, some other fighters would just push, but with him, he's like throwing a hook. So
Yeah.
the fight could have canceled.
Yeah.
So Benavides is just good enough for Benavides that he just leaned it back and
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There's one. I missed this one.
Yeah, let's
From
get that one.
28 Mac. Can you tell the fans more about your trainer nickname LL Cool J? How far back do you go?
Oh yes. LL Cool J. The ones asking is actually Neil Makasaja is my team, and
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Neil, for getting us with Mercito today. He's the
Yeah,
one that
yes.
helped us make it happen.
And LL Cool J, that's on my team too. Is His name is Chris Almazan. The reason why LL Cool J, because he looks like Asian LL Cool J. He shaved his head too, so same size, same jawline, everything. So
Oh
even the
wow.
color.
All right, and then you have Chad again. This is more of just a comment. You're in a stacked division, man. You could shake some things up, maybe even sneak in as a last minute replacement for a big fight. Stay in shape and stay positive.
Yes,
Thanks, Chad.
that's actually what I'm doing right now, and hopefully, the plans will go through, and yeah, appreciate
Matter
it.
of fact, since Neil asked that question, what's Neil's nickname? Tell us something about Neil that we don't know.
Yeah,
Let's
tell
put
us
Neil on
about
the spot.
Neil.
Yeah, tell us something about Neil. Give us a nickname. What
Okay,
y'all
okay.
call him?
Well, we didn't really give him a nickname, but since he really loves Star Wars, I'm gonna give him a name, Darth Vader.
Oh, Darth Vader. Okay.
Yeah.
Neil,
I don't know.
that
I
Neil,
don't know
that
about
means you're
Star Wars.
watching.
Yeah, I don't know about Star Wars until I met him. I mean, I know Star Wars growing up, like I was
Yeah.
kid, but I got into it because of him, and I'm like, oh, this is good. So yeah.
Neil, that means you're on Disney watching Mandalorian and Boba Fett.
Oh, I watch it too.
Oh, do you?
Yes. Mandalorian. Oh man, I can wait for the next season.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alejandro.
So Mercito, the Earl Spence and Yulanis Ugas fight got announced.
Yes.
What do you think of that fight?
Ooh. Neil has the force. I would say I will give it to Spinks. Spinks.
I think this fight's gonna be real difficult for Spence, and I keep telling Sean that I still don't think that Spence will ever recover from the accident, and I honestly think that Ugas could pull up the upset fighting Spence in Texas. But I don't know. Let's see. But I honestly, he's a real live dog.
Well, let me ask you this. I want to ask Mercito because he's a boxer. So, Alejandro, I've heard so many people say that he didn't look that too good against Danny Garcia after the accident. He was flat. He was this and that. I think he looked the best he's ever looked in his life, man. I mean, when he came back from that crisis and fought Danny Garcia, if you watched the Mercito, I mean, what did you think? I mean, a lot of people was like, he don't look the same, but like he fought almost a near perfect fight. Or maybe it was just the style of opponent. Maybe that's why he looked so good.
It could be. It could be the style of the opponent. But also Danny Garcia, when you look at it, he looks kind of slow, but he's actually the timing of Danny Garcia is he knows how to time. But I could say that Errol Spinks after the accident, he could be better than that. I would say. I mean, although he did, I'm not saying he looks bad in that one, but I would say he could be better. I would say before the accident, if he don't have the accident, and with Ugas and Spinks, yes, makes sense that Spinks has that accident and it could play a role. But let's see. I think Spinks will get it, but we'll see. Things could always change in the fight. You don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was kind of disappointed when Spence stepped out of the fight against Manny. That would have been I think it would have been a great fight too.
Yes, that could be a great fight. Was the accident before that scheduled fight with Manny or after the accident?
It was after, I believe. Yeah,
I think after he beat Sean Porter, right? Was that after he beat
after
Sean
Danny
Porter?
Garcia. So he beat Danny Garcia, and then oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I thought he got in an accident after the.
Was it after Garcia?
I thought it was after the Sean Porter fight.
Yeah, so then after the accident, he fought Danny Garcia, and then he was supposed to fight Pacquiao.
Fight Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, okay.
And then he stepped out because of his eye.
The eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the eye injury.
Yeah.
So, Mercito, just How anxious are you to get back? Like, I know it's been a while, and you say you're positive, but how anxious are you? Are you just, do you miss the ring? Do you miss the fans?
Yes,
What?
yes, I am. I am. As a fighter, that's always what makes us. That's what we want. And so, I'm really anxious and wanting to be back in the ring. But if there's nothing I can do yet right now, then yeah, I'll just keep getting in shape, training, and waiting. I know, patiently waiting, and it will come. And like I said, there's been uh, a plan,
Mhm.
and you know, just waiting for that plan. I don't want to announce anything
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
I get you.
Yeah, but
Mercito, let me ask you this. You made me think about something, Alejandro, by saying that. Um, your last fight was 2019, right? So it was right before the COVID hit, right?
yes, yes,
And you saw when the COVID hit, right? How for like almost a year, when they did allow them to fight, there was no fans in the audience. Do you think you could have done that, man? It's one thing to fight and have the people cheering, whether they're booing you or against you, but to fight and you're hitting and punching, something like sparring, like nobody's saying nothing. Would that have been kind of hard for you? Not that you wouldn't have won, but doesn't that motivate y'all to hear the fans?
yeah, definitely. The fans can motivate the fighter, especially if you brought someone of your the
Yeah.
people that goes in there. Uh, it'll be a little probably awkward for both fighters, but I remember I was supposed to fight during that COVID in 2020
Yeah.
in India. After when I sparred, I was thinking that I need to get used to it, like kind of like this. I need to psych myself,
Hmm.
Right.
um, to get learn to know how this feeling, you know, so it won't be like a shocking for me. So I would say, yeah, probably I can, I'm okay with it. I can do it, but it didn't happen, so I don't know what really I'm gonna feel. But it'll be nice if there's fans.
Right. And Mercito, I used to do this back in the day. I want to bring this back. Can you tell us, and you've been fighting a long time, can you tell us one of the most craziest gym stories there is? One day you walked in the gym and there's just something so crazy going on. Like, man, if I told people this story, nobody would believe this. I've heard people talk about people bringing guns to the gym,
uh-huh.
people's fathers getting in the ring because their kid was getting beat up. I've heard all kind of stories.
Yeah. So I was in the Philippines gym, and then uh one of the fighters, I don't want to mention his name.
All right, all right.
So he just got out from the jail,
Uh-huh.
um, doing drugs and I don't know what else crime that he's doing.
Uh-huh.
So my manager that time brought him out and tried to train in the gym, and our manager has this gardener guy, and they
Mm-hmm.
they they got an argument, and the gardener guy in Philippines has the machete.
Oh my God.
Yes. So has a machete, and so one of this my boxing mate, he's a lot older. I was 15 that time. Oh, maybe 16 already because I've been there for a year, and he was just waiting for that gardener to leave his machete. And so right when he saw the machete, he took the machete, hit it to the other side, and right when he saw the gardener guy, he took that machete and chased the gardener guy. And I remember I was wrapping my hand because we're going to the gym. It's like gym is just close in where we were staying, so all the fighters are there. And right when I go to that door, I saw this machete like waving in the air.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit! Like I need to back up. So I back up, and then this guy, the gardener guy, turned around, went to the other door, and like towards me. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get involved in this one because this
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah.
But I have this boxing mate as well. He never gets scared of chasing back that guy, and he's even
Right.
lower weight. He chased one of the guy that was having the machete and grab it. And right when he grabbed it, the gardener guy closed the door and he tried to stab the door. Right when he stopped the door, because the machete doesn't have a stopper where you hold. So his hand slid. So almost cut his finger.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
blood is all over. I'm like, this is crazy.
Oh man, yeah, that's definitely a good one. We gotta put that one in the books there, man.
Yeah, so he got kicked out. Yeah, he got kicked out. He didn't want to fight it. Yeah. So
hey, Mercito, let me ask you this. I've heard, and I'm glad I'm asking because you've been boxing a long time.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's some fighters, right, that when you're sparring, Mercito, they said these guys be kicking everybody's butt. I mean, great at sparring, but when it's time for a real professional fight, it's the complete opposite, and they get beat. Over your years and experience, have you seen some guys that like, man, you get in there sparring him, he gonna bust your tail, but then when it's time for them to fight a real fight, they're like just subpar average. Have you seen that in your career?
Yes, there's a couple of fighters that I know that's so good in sparring, but when it comes to the fight, actually, you guys know, but I don't. He's known fighter in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I don't want to say names.
Yeah.
No names.
But so good in sparring, beating good fighters, but when it goes to the fight, no heart.
Right,
no heart.
right.
I'm like surprised. I'm like, you were so good. How come in the fight?
Right.
Even fought here in America. So
yeah, and that's what I want to ask you. When you have guys like that, what do you think it is that they can't? What is it? Why they can't flip the switch in the real ring? What do you think it is?
You know,
just psychological, or is it because they feel more comfortable because they wearing 16-ounce gloves versus the 8-ounce gloves? I mean,
you know what? That's what I was saying earlier, that you can teach technique, but you can't teach
heart.
Or to break heart.
Right.
So, unfortunately, boxing is not really for everyone can do it, but if you don't have a heart, it's hard. You gotta be there and accept that even you guys, your opponent can exchange face. You just go there, you know. So that's the one thing that it's hard to teach in boxing.
And Mercito, I felt that way. Do you know how many times, as a fan, I've watched Timothy Bradley fight, and I'm like, oh, Timothy Bradley ain't gonna win this fight. And then his heart just pulling right through it. Then I see Timothy Bradley, and he's not going to win this fight. And his heart, man, there's something about Timothy. To me, Timothy is not the most skilled fighter. I mean, he can fight, but he's not like top-notch echelon. But his heart, man, and that just so many times carried him in fights that I just never thought he would win. Now, I don't think he ever beat Manny Pacquiao, but he gave Pacquiao a good fight, though.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, he has a heart. Everyone has a heart. In the end, you have this fighting spirit. You still go there and you never give up. Some of the fighters, they felt pain especially with a body shot. Those are because if you get hit in the jaw, you can just go down, but you don't feel the pain. But you feel the body. You can feel the body. So some fighters get hit with the body, and they don't like to suck the pain. They would just go down. I'm like, come on, you can at least go.
So Mercito, that brings me to this point, right? I know that you have heart, right? Because I think it was Mendoza. Was it Mendoza? You went down the second and third round,
Mendoza,
and got back up, and then that very next fight, Gonzalez, second or third round, you got knocked down, and you just got right back up, man. So are those examples of what you're talking about? And first of all, were you kind of upset with yourself 2 fights back to back getting knocked down?
The Mendoza and what was the other one?
Gilberto Gonzalez. They were back to back. One was 2015, and then you 2 years later, you got back in the ring.
Yes. The Gonzalez.
Miguel Mendoza.
Yeah, not Mendoza. The Gonzalez.
The Gilberto Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gilberto Gonzalez. Yeah. Pretty much. I didn't think it's a knockdown for me. I mean, it
Sure.
was a hit, but I didn't feel
Sure.
it. I didn't
Right.
feel it. I mean, a little bit of outbounds probably, but with Mendoza, that one, it's because well, that one, I know that I was dazed with that one.
Yeah.
I felt that one.
But it was your heart that's
Yes,
like, I mean, were you thinking like, man, I've got to get back up? Like, what goes through your mind?
you know, as a fighter, you know, for me, like if I'm not out, if I can still get up, I'll be there to fight. That's in my mind. I mean, no excuse for me. No excuse. I lost a fight. I lost a fight. But you know, it won't. I won't feel frustrated because you know the last one that with the Gonzalez, they call it knockdown. Because for me, like that's not real. That's not. I didn't feel that one.
Sure.
But with the Mendoza, yes, I felt that. But you know, for me, like it's another experience that I have, and the hard part is how to bounce back. If you know how to bounce back, then you're good.
So, Mercito, were you just like the rest of us, just shocked when Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder that first fight and he knocked him out? And afterwards, Tyson Fury said he was like, "Man, I woke up and I looked, and the ref was like 4-5." He said he got up. I mean, that is just a amazing story. Like he actually said he was knocked out, and when he opened his eyes, the ref was counting. He got up and finished better. I mean, were you shocked at that knockdown? Did you think it was over?
Man, yes, I thought it was over. I was shocked because when you look at knockdowns, there are knockdowns that like dazed you
Yeah.
and you went down. With that knockdowns went straight. You know, and after he got hit, I think he got hit another one with a hook.
Yeah.
And so he went straight down. And right when you saw him on the ground on the canvas, it doesn't look like he moved. He just stays.
Yes.
And so I'm like, oh, that's it. That's it. That's at the end of the game. But he got up. He shows heart. It's crazy. It's amazing that being that.
Mercito, I'm trying to put myself in that position. Like when he said it, I'm trying to relive like I'm him. I'm like, man, I'm knocked out, and I open my eyes, and I see the ref saying 4-5. I'm like, that's just amazing to me, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I mean, it's everyone sees that's it, but it's like almost like, is it a miracle that he just got up right away?
Yeah, I tell you, you want me to tell you who the people that I've and I hate to say it, and this can happen to anybody, man, but I feel so embarrassed when you turn on Showtime or Fox or The Zone or Top Rank ESPN and people get knocked down and you're part of this highlight reel now. It is like, man, really? You got to play this part of the ESPN highlight reel of me getting knocked down, or it could be anybody, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the business. You got to show, people love to see knockdowns, knockouts. So it just sucks if that's you.
Exactly. All right. London Chris here says, who have you been sparring in the gym, and who are your favorite sparring partners?
Don't have really a favorite fighters because each fighters have their own styles. I first sparring right now with last Monday with Victor Postol.
Can he crack? Can he hit hard?
You know what? Yeah, he's good. He's more like a timing. He's not that fast, but the timing, that's what he's good at. And I like that experience. I like to spar with him, and he's a world caliber fighter.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever spar Manny Pacquiao?
That's the only thing that I've been wanting in my life. A lot of times already that I almost spar with him. I spar with when I was new in when I was there in LA, when I was staying there, and they scheduled me to spar with them, but it didn't happen. And then when I moved to San Diego, and they called me to spar Manny, by the time I get there, he already started sparring. And when he fought Ugas, I was putting my gloves already, getting ready, and then he didn't he didn't want any more sparring. So I'm like, oh, man, I've been wanting that. I don't even care if I get beat because that's a legend. Like I want to spar the legend. So
Right.
yeah, and that Ugas fight, to be honest, I really think Manny will win the fight because I've seen how busy he is with the uh and the, as a politician.
Yeah.
Every night he's not sleeping that early because he has the Zoom call in the Philippines, and
Hmm.
sometimes he usually run to the mountain almost every day. Um, but he's not doing that stuff anymore. And I saw him sparring. He's not as active like back then. So I'm already feeling like this kind of his Manny like looks like he's not in his all himself, or could be the age also the factor. So I don't know.
Well,
Right.
being
Hey,
he was probably overwhelmed and with all the politics, and age must have played a factor too.
Probably. Yeah.
Go ahead, Sean.
Mercito, let me ask you this, and because I've seen this happen, I've seen this happen in at least two fights that I can remember. I've seen, oh man, what was that guy? It was Torres versus somebody. This is a while back. I've seen a guy, right, that was dominating the fight. I mean, he was lighting this guy on fire. Oh, what was his name? I have to look. It was Torres versus somebody. And
Hmm.
man, in the middle of maybe fifth, sixth round, man, he clashed heads so hard with this guy, and he was never the same after that. And then he ended up getting caught with the left hook, and he was knocked out. Now, my personal opinion, he was taking shots all night. But after they clashed heads, and when I say they clashed hard, they clashed hard. And then when he got hit with that left hook, he was out of it. And I say that to say this with your Juan Rodriguez fight, with all the accidental headbutts, and in the ninth round was the stoppage, right?
Hmm.
Does them headbutts and head clashes, kind of loop you and really kind of hurt you in the long run to where you normally wouldn't get hurt. Now you're hurt because of these headbutts all night long.
Um.
And I'm
That.
not trying to make an excuse for the guy winning,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I can see something like that happen. I mean, there's only so many headbutts you can take or low blows that you can get punched with before your wind is gone by the seventh, eighth round.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, you said too. He wins. Congratulate him. Congratulate him. The headbutts actually, I get a headbutt, but it didn't really bother me.
Okay.
The truth is, I wasn't supposed to fight that fight.
Ah.
Um, I was dehydrated. I was overweight.
Oh wow.
I couldn't get the fight, and it was supposed to be canceled. But I continue to fight because I already have my fans.
Right.
Bought the tickets. They already have it. And for me, I was like, I'll probably recover. I'm okay. But
Right.
man, if you don't cut your weight in the right way and you are dehydrated before actually that fight, exactly this room right here. This
Yeah.
is I,
Yeah.
um I faint out.
Oh wow.
Went down, hit my head
Wow.
on the door when I open it. I'm like,
Jeez.
I'm like, oh shoot. And so I already announced the fight. I already, and it's
Right.
it's like changing the opponents, and I thought the fights wouldn't go through. But experience, it happened.
And Mercedo, I'm glad you said that because you are not the first fighter that has said something similar to that has happened to them. And they said the same thing. The fans are already there, people bought tickets. But knowing what you know now and experience, if you could do it all over again, would you have called it off until you got yourself right? Knowing what you know now.
Yeah, probably because
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, health is important. Health
Right.
is important. Yeah.
So let me ask you
Mercito,
this. So so
go ahead.
so I'm sorry, Alejandro. Let me ask this one last thing. Should there be um what do you think about rehydration clauses? Do you think that's needed? I mean, say you got two guys fighting at 140, next day within 24 hours, the guy's 165, like a big super middleweight, and maybe somebody like average person can maybe only pick up 8, 10 pounds. You got a super middleweight fighting a barely welterweight fighter.
Yeah. That's why right now in the title fights, they have a cutoff with the weight. Like, I mean, you cannot gain some certain weight when you fight for the title. They strictly do that, and if you over the limit, then I'm not sure if you get fined or they can cancel the fight. So it didn't happen yet, but since I've fought for twice already for the title, and they have that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead,
And
Alejandro.
how did you get your nickname No Mercy?
Well, it kind of rhymes with my name. Some of my team, some of my team give it, and back when I was on my when I'm new here in America, and then the way I fight, pretty much I just go forward, bah, 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 throw everything, and they look at it. It seems like No Mercy, so we put No Mercy. It rhymes with the name, and that's the reason why I got the No Mercy name. But like I said, I mean, you can't do each time that style, because as soon as you go up, your opponent's level also goes up. So if you just keep going and throw whatever, they can just counter you, and boop, and you don't know what happened. Yeah.
Right. Mercito, this channel is also called Boxing and Basketball. Do you watch basketball or just play it as like fun and recreation?
Yeah, I watch basketball too.
Who's your favorite team and your favorite player?
Well, pretty much a lot of people loves already the Golden State.
Yeah.
Of course, when I look at Stephen Curry, like the way he throws the trees, like it's like so like effortless. I'm like, damn, this guy just throws like. I'm like, I mean, I would say, like, I enjoy watching that.
Yeah, Mercito, or when you go out there to play around and just shoot around, are you a good 3-pointer, free throw, layup? What are you good at? Defense?
I thought I am until I play with my wife.
Your wife can play basketball really good?
She played basketball in high school, so she's good. And I admit that it's hard to admit, but I admit that. I thought I'm gonna teach my wife, but it ended up she's teaching me. This is how you throw it, okay?
Yeah.
So like, all right, okay. But I do love basketball. Growing up in Philippines, like main sport in Philippines growing up is basketball, boxing.
So, okay. Yeah. So that's why Manny likes to play so much.
Yes, lucky I did boxing because I'm not tall. So
right.
Basketball.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you didn't get a chance to spar Manny, right? But would you at least try to play against him in basketball?
Oh yeah. Well, he looks kind of awkward in basketball, but I think he's good because he's used to the awkward position, awkward movement. So and he's been playing a lot. So I'm like, I can probably my movement probably like a little kind of not awkward, but I don't think I'll win with him. But I like to play basketball with him.
Yeah.
But although he has a brother that's really good in basketball.
Wow.
Bobby Pacquiao.
Okay. Oh, Bobby.
Wow. Yeah.
He's good.
So, Mercito, let me ask you, since you brought up your wife earlier, right? How involved, especially being she's athletic and played basketball, right? How involved would you say your wife is in boxing? And I only ask that because I actually like the dynamic of seeing Nonito and Rachel so close and neatly close together, the way they support each other when it comes to boxing. Like Rachel's not gonna let nobody take advantage of Nonito. Like she's willing to fight for Nonito, man.
Yes.
Is your wife kind of into boxing? She's kind of like, I don't even want to watch it. I don't want to see you get hit.
Oh no, I get the 100% support with my wife, but also at the same time, my wife knows her place. She knows where she needs to go. I mean, her place in my career. She has her own career. I have my own career, but support from her, since she's really into sport. She loves basketball. She loves football, and also boxing because Filipinos, love boxing. Her dad loves boxing. He already passed away a while ago, but she supports that. And speaking of my wife, actually, let me call my wife. If house. Oh my God. Where's my wife?
Oh, she's right there.
Well, I'm so involved. I'm right here.
Hey, how's it going? Hey man, how you gonna beat him in basketball like that? You can't hurt his ego.
It's all about that. It's all about using that backboard.
Yeah, who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite team?
Man, the late Kobe Bryant.
Oh
And
yeah,
back then, I loved Larry Bird. I love Michael Jordan. I loved all those people.
Oh, you're a real fan. You
yeah,
real
yeah, she's a real fan.
Hey, look, tell the truth. When Mercito challenged you on the court, did you already know, like, okay, I got something for you?
You just gotta come in there pretending like you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But he owns the ring, but I own that court. I own that key right there.
Yeah. Yeah, she really knows. I like that.
You know that.
Oh,
hard to
man.
admit, but
Oh man,
that's awesome.
All right, Mercito, man, we don't want to keep you much longer, man. We've been a little over an hour, man. We appreciate your wife coming on also. And listen, man, you got to come back on. Let us know. Reach back out to with Neil or whoever. Let us know when you have a fight coming up, man, because we definitely want to get you back on, talk some more, man. And man, it's been a pleasure having you on here, man. Is there anything you want to say to the fans or anybody in closing?
Well, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I enjoy the talk. I'm already done with the workout, and it's just and to all my fans, I just want to say thank you so much for the support. I know all of them are anticipating and really waiting for me to get back in the ring, and me too. But you know what? Hey, things happen sometimes, but I'm still here. I'm gonna get there, and once I get there, I do love to see my fans. Sometimes I do fan appreciation day that I can invite fans to come, especially when I go to San Diego. Because I treat San Diego as my home base, even though I'm over here thinking to buy a house there also. Right. I'll be back soon, and I'll be back strong.
Okay. And Mercito, whenever you have let your guy Neil know whenever you have any fan appreciation or meet and greets, definitely shoot us an email so we can post it on the website, man, so we can help promote and help y'all any way we can.
Oh, definitely. Neil is really big into that with that thing, and he's actually the one that's always updating me and telling me about, your interview, bro, is tonight. And yes, definitely. He's listening right now, and this guy London, Chris, he's the videographer sometimes.
Right. All right, so fight fans, stay tuned. Pretty soon, real soon, we're hoping to have some more news and updates from Mercito. Mercito, once again, thanks so much, and until next time, we signing out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mercito. Thank you, Neil.
All right.
Bye-bye.